when we do projects, we try to stay. I'm far from what you would consider neutral or off-white kind of guy, but we try to stay with things that are that age well, just like me. But you know, a lot of your stone looks, your brushed nickels, and then if you do splash color, and the easiest place to splash color is paint colors and walls and different things that are easily changeable. You know, you can add tons of color just painting the walls, and come in 2 years later, repaint everything and get a new set of towels and new rugs in a different color. Pretty much change the whole look and not break the bank.
Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman, home improvement expert. Anyways, it's time for our contractor spotlight. You know, I scour the area looking for good contractors, the good guys. And, you know, the point is what makes a good guy? A guy, you know, what is it? Well, there's some criteria that we have. You know, we pre-screen our contractors here at Hire It Done, and it's on the website, hireitdone.com. You can look at our pre-screening process. And, you know, we try and do our best to find good contractors that not only do good work, but have experience, that are seasoned, that understand customers, understand that each customer is different. They understand that each job is different. But at the same time, when a problem comes, they don't point the finger. They hit it head on, because that's how you do it. To be a successful contractor today, there's so many things against contractors that you got to watch out. And that's why business is booming for us. And so finding a good contractor is never easy. And that's a big deal. So joining me on the Hire It Done radio show right now is Jim Seghi from Seghi Renovations. Good morning, my friend.
Good morning, Adam.
How you
Pleasure
doing?
to be here, as always.
Always, right? A big pleasure.
That's right.
So give everyone a little intro to yourself and tell everyone, hey, what's going on at Seghi?
I guess, so let's just hit on the solution-minded. Our solution-minded starts from the minute a client walks into my showroom, because we have solutions for problems that they don't even know exist.
Right.
We put our heart and soul into every project. We have fun at Seghi Renovations. I mean, yesterday we had I went out and measured a kitchen, and I brought it in to my lead designer, Kristen, and me and her sat there, and we literally just tweaked the designs out, an inch here, an inch there, put it here, put it there. We bounced stuff back and forth. And to us, we're not your standard company that all we really care about is how much money we make. What we care about is what the actual design is.
Having fun.
There's not a lot of companies out there that just really care about how stuff looks, and that's what's important to us. And there's so many little intricate moving parts
Sure.
to each project that if you focus on that and have a solution for every problem, because there's things that, and I try to not call them problems, because it's not a problem if you can find a solution, because then there never was a problem, right?
Oh, well, it's well said. So let me ask you a question. So you're trying to make kitchen design, bathroom design, renovations fun, which is the best way to have a look at it. But when you're dealing with a homeowner, and
Yes.
that's what you do, and the homeowner comes to you and says, I want a pistachio-colored tile, and I want this and want that, and they want something that doesn't really work.
Right.
Are you going to give them your opinion?
Of course.
So you're gonna tell them.
I have some clients I'll never forget. I was with the tile guy. We were doing the final layout, and he was over there talking to her, and they were kind of says, well, what about this? And she just literally right out said, well, we better ask Jim first.
Okay, so you take control.
Yes.
Okay, you know what? That's important, and I'll tell you why. A lot of homeowners are relying on you as the expert.
Yes.
They're going to go to Pinterest, Houzz. They're going to go online. They're going to watch these TV shows that give them the wrong impression of our business.
Yep.
And then they're going to come to you and say, I want this. And you're going to be like, okay, I like what you have, but let me tell you the reality.
Yeah, you tell me what you want, and I'll tell you how you should do it.
Okay, but
Because I need to know what they want.
You're not that stiff where you're not going to flex a little bit for the homeowner.
No, and it's actually, I was talking to out in the hall before I started, and I'm not like there's some designers out there that are like, okay, so this is how I like things done, and this is the way it's going to be. I'm not that way. I like to listen to what my clients have to say, and deliver exactly what they want, but if they're doing something that my experience tells me that it is just not a good idea, I will not only tell them, but I will tell them why. I will say, look, if you do it this way, these are the ramifications. If you're okay with that, I'm okay with it because it's your kitchen or it's your bathroom, but it's flat out not going to work.
And that's, and I'm glad you brought that up. And so for everyone listening right now, we're talking to Jim Seghi from Seghi Renovations. His office is out of South Lyon.
South Lyon, yep.
You service all of Metro Detroit, pretty much. And finding a good kitchen contractor is not easy. Can you go to a big box store and meet with one of the people there and get started? Of course. Are you going to get the same service? Heck no. So the key to this interview, my friends who are listening, is to understand that the relationship with your contractor means more than everything else. So getting to know Jim and getting to know his style is the way to start a really good project, especially if you're serious about getting it done. Jim, let's talk trends for a second.
Sure.
Everyone wants to do a new kitchen. Everyone wants a new bath because it's the hottest remodeling projects and it's the best return on investment. Would you agree?
Yes.
When we say return on investment on a kitchen, what does that mean? Let's give the audience that definition.
So return on investment is not a math equation where if your house is worth $300,000, you spend $50 on a kitchen, now your house is worth $350.
Right.
That's an unrealistic expectation. But if you don't put the new kitchen in it, your house is not worth $300,000. It's worth $280, $285.
Right.
So you have to pick first of all where you start the actual number, and the second thing to remember is also that there's personal value. So I tell people if you're selling your house even within 5 years, you're gonna let's backtrack. Let's face it, you're gonna pay for a new kitchen anyway if you got an old kitchen. Whether you put it in yourself and enjoy it for 5 years, or whether you sell the house and 5 years later you're gonna buy a kitchen. Why not buy a kitchen and it's gonna make your house sell quicker?
You know the MasterCard commercial, the credit card commercial says ends with priceless.
Yes.
So this is what I think. You can talk about spending money on a kitchen. You can talk about the value of when it's done. But you said it really, the enjoyment, the use of it. Well, how do you price that? You can't. It's priceless.
Right. That's any project. There's two values. There's monetary and personal. I can't tell you what your personal value is going to be. I can point you in the right direction and ask the right questions. The monetary value is just, it is what it is.
I just have a friend who bought a condo in Bloomfield Hills, and he's gutting it, and he's single, and he eats out every meal. So I said to him, why are you putting all this money in the kitchen? Because you got to. I'm like, what? He goes, you ever going to cook in it? Maybe not. I'm like, dude. And I'm like, what are you putting in it? Stainless steel appliances, granite, shaker white, the typical.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, dude, how much you spending? I don't want to talk about it. Right? And I'm like, what are you going to do? You're going to still eat out? He goes, yeah. So I'm like, okay, buddy.
I had a client one time, and it was a first floor remodel, not just a kitchen.
Sure.
Spent $100,000, and I used to tease her. I says, we put a double oven in there, one for you to put the McDonald's bags in, and one for the Burger King bags, because she didn't cook. But we still did a drop dead gorgeous kitchen.
I love that. My kitchen's pretty. I don't use it. Did you say Burger King?
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you I worked there?
No.
I worked at Burger King in 1984. Just want everyone to know that. Anyways, so Jim, let's talk trends really quick.
Sure.
Color. What's the most popular color kitchen right now?
Okay, so in general, wood tones are still a favorite, but we're probably a little bit in if somebody's going to go wood tones, a little to the medium to dark colors.
Okay.
But then there's the shaker style for a door style is relatively popular, regardless of whether it's a wood style or whether it's a white.
Grayish. Have you heard of grayish?
Grayish? Yeah, well, we do have some. It's a grayish brown. Those are probably our two popular colors in the dark family.
So the island gets a different color than the cabinets.
And
Big time.
The grays are pretty popular.
Granite versus quartz. You see more quartz than granite today?
We probably sell about maybe 65% granite, the rest quartz.
It's interesting. Remember how air conditioning was an option when you bought a house or did it?
Yeah.
Now it's automatic, right?
Yes.
Same thing with granite, right?
Yes.
Kitchen's got to have granite. It's like an automatic.
I use the term, I tell people when I give
Solid
you
surface.
preliminary pricing, I consider solid surface because for me, they both are very durable products. Yes, some are, better than others to a certain extent, but you're really mincing words of stuff that you're going into technicalities that really don't mean anything in the practical world.
Gotcha.
Oh my God, it's granite's harder, quartz is harder, whatever. Who's gonna? I mean, it just doesn't break. Neither one of them. So
Jim,
pick what you like is what I tell people.
Jim Seghi, Seghi Renovations. I'm Adam Helfman. Thanks for coming on, my friend.
Thank you.
You're listening to the Hire It Done Radio Network. Good morning. It's the weekend. Perfect time to hire it done. My name's Adam Helfman. I'm your host. Great show lined up for this hour. We got some home hacks. We got every kind of plumbing question you could ever think of. And we're continuing the conversation with Jim Seghi from Seghi Renovations. He's our in-house home improvement expert today with me, talking kitchens, baths, and everything homeowner related. We've also got Ron Alexander, our master plumber from Shelby Mechanical. He brought his apprentice, Aiden, in studio as well. Gentlemen, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. So Jim from Seghi Renovations, kitchens, baths. We were talking earlier about trends.
Yes.
The colors, the cabinets. Let's get into the nitty gritty when you're demoing a kitchen, right? Have you ever demoed a kitchen and like everything's rotted behind it and you didn't know?
We usually take a thorough look ahead of time. In kitchens, probably not so much. Maybe more in a bathroom.
Sure.
You'll find more water damage. Kitchens, if you see the water under the cabinets and that, you can assume that everything's so.
Yeah. I mean, I've ripped out, like in kitchens, the dishwasher area and the refrigerator area, you can the water line was leaking for years and the whole floor underneath
Yes.
rotted, right? So in that situation, because you don't have x-ray vision, or do you?
Pretty good. I mean, I have a camera that we use. I'm pretty proactive to what we do, but
Right.
I'm not going to say I've never ran into anything.
Sure.
But they're far and few between because one of the things that I pride myself in is when I quote a job to a client, that's what they pay. It's not, oh, I'm sorry we missed this. Oh, I'm sorry we didn't see that.
Yeah, that's the biggest complaint homeowners have.
And it's like, look, here's your price. You are correct. There is. And normally people believe and trust me enough that
Sure.
they'll look at it and go, oh, God, how could you see that? We understand,
legit.
Jim.
But I tell
But-
homeowners to ask, give me everything included in your price, Jim. And then after you've reviewed it, they go back and I say, Jim, put everything not included in the price. So I know. And what you could say is not included is latent defects, rotted wood, things like that, because you don't know.
Right.
So I always tell homeowners, hey, there are some things you should ask them. What are some of the items that you don't know that if I didn't request, like I know I'm going to pay extra if I request for more work, but what would be an item that might cost me more money? And the perfect example is the plywood's rotted under the dishwasher because it had a slow drip for years. You're not going to rebuild this brand new $50,000 average kitchen over rotted plywood, are you?
No.
So you're going to replace that plywood. You're going to make sure it's dry, mold, mildew treated,
Correct.
and then you're going to go forward. But there's a cost to that. Is that correct?
There is. I mean, if it was just one little spot of plywood, that's something that me is a cost of doing business. If it's major and you do have to treat for mold and all that kind of stuff, then actually, yes, there would be a cost.
So it's smart, though, to stop the project and say, hey, Mrs. Jones, after we demoed, we found a couple rotted pieces of wood. I want to let you know, here's what it looks like. Here's my solution.
Yes, we only
Here's
have
what it costs.
solutions for our clients. I never call them up and say, oh, my God, look what we found today.
Right.
It's, hey, this is what we found. This is what we're going to do. This is what it's going to cost. You okay with that?
Now, the minute you find a mistake like that or a defect, the job takes a little longer because you had to do that. You weren't planning on that in your timeline.
Correct.
Do you notify the homeowner, hey, listen, this is going to delay us 3-4 days?
Well, if that's actually what it's going to be, of course.
Question, we have Ron Alexander from Shelby Mechanical in studio. Ron, you've worked with a ton of kitchen contractors.
Oh, yeah.
So have you ever been brought in where like the plumbing was dripping and you had to redo the plumbing and stuff?
Yeah, we pretty much redo it all the time on a remodel.
You know what I just came across? So I have the old Battle Tank Sub-Zero refrigerator, and I had copper running to it, but I had the copper attached to my water softener, or my reverse osmosis to feed my ice maker.
Okay.
So the guy from I had a problem. It was green. It was corroded.
Your ice or your water or
No,
the line?
the line everywhere, yeah.
itself. Okay, yeah.
And the guy said, "Yeah, you can't run reverse osmosis to copper." I didn't know this. Have you ever heard that?
Yes.
Yeah, we've always run poly.
Okay, yeah. Well, your guy came and actually changed it to poly.
Did he change it?
Yeah,
Okay.
Dominic.
Oh, that's right, Dominic. I remember that now.
Yeah, but I just, I was having ice maker issues, and the guy's like, "Listen, you should keep this refrigerator. This is the battle tank of all refrigerators.
Yep.
It's cheaper to, do because the new ones are expensive." He's like, "Let me get you a heater on the water line because it was freezing up."
Oh, it was icing up, yeah.
Yeah. He's like, "I'll put a heater on it. It's a new thing." I'm like, "Okay," and he's like, "You just bought yourself a bunch of more years." So I was excited because I was thinking, "Oh no, my Sub-Zero's out."
$10,000.
Yeah, like it's easily right. We don't want that headache. So, anyways, so what happens when you get that going? Do you tell the homeowner that the job's gonna take a little longer because we have a delay?
Yes.
And they're pretty much most okay with that, right?
Yes, they are.
Okay. So, what is your opinion? Do you tell them ahead of time when they ask you, "Hey, Jim, what could go wrong on this project?" Do you ever bring that up? Or
Honestly,
items like that?
Not. Well, yeah, you know what? If there's something that I'm unsure of, I'll say, look, we're doing it. This is a cost, and it honestly, it doesn't happen very often. But I'll say, look, here's kind of an unknown that I'm a little concerned about. Sometimes if we're taking out walls or anything like that, I'll say, look, we got to invest X number of dollars. You get a structural engineer here to find out exactly how to take this wall out and do it right. And so certain things like that are a little bit of an unknown.
Okay, makes sense. Jim Seghi, Seghi Renovations. We're going to take a quick break, folks. Kelly Ray just shouted out and said you're a great guy, by the way.
Nice, thank you.
Anyways, we're going to take a quick break. I'm Adam Helfman. You're listening to the Hire It Done Radio Network.